This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, can I start now?
Yes, Mehdi, you can proceed.
Am I audible clearly? Screen and all?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, chalo, let's start. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Syed Muhammad Ali Mehdi, student of Deccan College of Medical Sciences, and today I'll be taking the session on the perineum. So, it's not that big a topic, but it's really confusing because of its location. The way it's located, like it's the lowermost point of the trunk, so it is hard to visualize how it's located. So first of all, I'd like to do the man my. And to the first topic we are going to take is the perineum, and that is divided into two parts. And the first part is the urogenital triangle, and the second part is the anal triangle. The urogenital
Video stuck
triangle is
for you
further
only or
divided
for
into the deep.
1 second, Mehdi? Sadat,
Yeah,
is this video stuck for me only or for you people also?
Yeah, it's stuck for me
yeah,
also.
Mehdi, I think it's
Yeah.
tough for everyone. I'll check now once.
Wait. It's working now. Is it okay?
No, it's still
No,
stuck.
not yet.
I wrote perineum on the board. Can you see it?
Yeah, but
Video
your
is a
hands are
little
not moving. Yeah, the video is gotten stuck.
black screen. I
Is
am
it?
getting a black
Wait,
screen.
let me reconnect. Black screen. How about now?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah.
Hello. Now it's
Yeah,
visible?
it's
Okay.
visible, Mehdi. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry for
continue,
the
continue.
interruption. I think I got a call or something. So the perineum is divided into two parts. That is the like how we are going to proceed with the topic: urogenital triangle and the anal triangle. The urogenital triangle is further divided into two parts. That is the deep pouch and the superficial pouch. So we are going to discuss the perineum in these subtopics, and it can get confusing at times. So brace yourselves. So now moving on to the location, how it's located in the body. So if it, I hope all of you know the lithotomy position. Lithotomy position is nothing but the position in which a lady lies during delivery. So if I try to draw a diagram, it would be something like this. This is the vaginal opening and this is the urethral opening, and here is the anus. Okay, so this is the female, and here I'll draw a male body. So this is the location of the perineum. Perineum is a diamond-shaped cavity, a diamond-shaped space which fills the area below the pelvic diaphragm. So this is the diamond, okay? This will be your diamond in females, and this will be your diamonds in male, okay? This particular area is known as the perineum. So coming to the relations you can clearly see over here. Anteriorly, if you look anteriorly, we've got the mons pubis over here with the pad of hair over here in female, and in the male you've got the scrotum. And posteriorly, if you look, you've got the buttocks on in both males and females. And laterally, if you look, you'll have the medial aspect of the upper part of the thigh on both in both males and females. So this is the relations of external relations, I would say, of the perineum in both males and females. Now, moving on to the bony relation. The bony relation is what is inside, and this can get confusing if you don't know the pelvic bone. I hope you all know the pelvic bone beforehand. I have a little video over here in my laptop. If you guys don't mind, let me just bring my laptop in front of the camera. so that you guys can better visualize. I hope you guys can see it. Can you? Yeah, this is the
Yes,
location
Mehdi, visible.
regarding the bony relations of the perineum. So if you watch closely how it's located, it's really complicated. Okay, just watch carefully. So you have to visualize it 3D so that it becomes easier for you to understand it. Okay, diamond shaped. So now you've seen the video, and now I'll try to draw a diagram. So you've seen the pelvic girdle, and if we look at it from the inferior view, you will see the pubic symphysis over here, and here will be your istiopubic rami, and this will be your ischial tuberosity, and here you will have the coccyx. Okay, and from the sacrum and coccyx you will have these ligaments, sacrotuberous ligaments. These are the sacrotuberous ligaments. I hope you all can see it. And
Yes, yes, it's visible.
this is the, wait a minute, pubic symphysis. This is the istiopubic rami. Actually, this is the superior pubic rami, and this is the inferior pubic rami, and this is the body of pubis. And the pubic bone is only till here, only this much. So this is the ischium. So the whole part is known as the istiopubic rami. So this is the istiopubic rami. This is the sacrotuberous ligament from the ischial tuberosity. So this is the bony relation. So now you can clearly see a diamond forming over here. This is the bilateral side. This, you can see a diamond forming here. This apex is formed by the pubic symphysis, and below you have the coccyx. Coccyx. And on the lateral sides you have the ischial tuberosity, and this is the anterior part and this is the posterior part. So anterolateral you have the istiopubic rami, and posterolateral you have the sacrotuberous ligaments. So these are the bony relations. Now what is the roof? You've heard enough about lateral, anterior, medial, but now the roof. Let me get you oriented to the topic. If we take a body like this, I am taking a sagittal section of a man. Look, I'm not really good with the drawing part. If you take it like this, a sagittal section, so here you'll have the bladder and all, and below the bladder you'll have the prostate, and here you'll have the perineum, and this is the perineum, a schematic diagram only. So now I need you to get oriented to the terms I'm going to use, because when we view the diagram and we think that superior means superficial, but here if we see, this is the skin. Okay, this will be the skin, right? Here you will have the skin. So when I say superior, that means above, that means it is deep, not superficial. Like if I talk about the urogenital diaphragm, it will have a superior fascia and an inferior fascia. This will be the superior fascia. So superior fascia will be deeper than the inferior fascia. So you need to get oriented to that thing. And now I'm going to tell you about how it's related to the pelvic diaphragm. I told you when I started that it is a diamond shaped cavity that fills the space below the pelvic diaphragm. So the pelvic diaphragm is somewhere over here. If you take this as the pelvic bone, something like this, pelvic bone coming here around, you will have the levator ani and coccygeus. Both of them make the pelvic diaphragm, by the way. You will have these muscles here like this. Okay, These are the levator ani, and in these you will have passages for the urethra and all. And this is the levator ani. So below the levator ani, you will have these pouches. Okay, these pouches will be here, like this. Okay, so now the question is, above the deep pouch you have the pelvic diaphragm, but here you can see a little space, a triangular space. This space is filled by nothing but the anterior recess of the istioanal fossae. Okay, istioanal fossae are nothing but they are fat-filled spaces. We'll read. I'll tell you about them when we discuss anal triangle. Sorry. So now
Mehdi,
coming
you're
to the
not audible.
divisions.
Yeah, now it's
Hello.
audible. All right.
Hello. Yeah, yeah.
I just
Coming to the
wanted to add,
divisions
Ki
of
Gayatri, kindly mute yourself. Your voice is kind of obstructing Mehdi's voice. Yeah, continue, Mehdi.
yeah. If anybody has any doubts, you can type in the chat box and I'll answer them later on. So coming back to the bony diagram we drew earlier. So this is the istiopubic rami like this. This is the ischial tuberosity and this is the coccyx. Okay. This is the sacrotuberous ligaments over here. So now the subdivisions. We have the divisions made for us to understand the perineum better. And these divisions are made by drawing an imaginary line. Imaginary line is drawn. This is the ischial tuberosity, these both the protuberance. I'll show you in the bone. I have this pelvic bone over here. And this is one pelvic bone. And this is the nothing but this part. This part corresponds to this. And this is the ischial tuberosity. So from the anterior part of the ischial tuberosities, an imaginary line is drawn. An imaginary line is drawn like this. And this line divides the perineum into two parts. The upper part is nothing but the urogenital triangle and the anal triangle. Okay, so now you know the subdivisions, and anterior to the imaginary line is the urogenital triangle and posterior is the anal triangle. Now coming to the urogenital diaphragm. Urogenital triangle. Okay. First, let me get you oriented to this thing. Now I won't draw all the bones and all. I'll just draw a diamond-shaped structure like this. I hope
Mehdi,
you
there is one
understand what are
doubt.
the boundaries.
Yeah, there is one doubt. Levator ani is above or below deep pouch?
It is above the deep pouch, like this. I'll show you. Wait a minute. Like this, you will have the levator ani. Levator ani is nothing but a bowl. It's like a bowl in the pelvic cavity. Okay, and below that you will have the deep pouch over here. Okay, so I talked about the space that is filled by the fat. This is the space. Okay, levator ani is above. This is the body, like this. Like this, you will have the buttocks and all. Okay, this is the levator ani. This muscle over here. This complete bowl-shaped cavity is the bowl-shaped structure is the levator ani. Okay. I hope that clears the doubt. So now coming to the urogenital triangle, I'll draw the diamond, your good old diamond over here. And this is, coccyx, and this is blah, blah, blah. Okay. So here you'll have the istio. I think I have to draw it again because I need to tell you the boundaries of the urogenital triangle. Okay. This is the urogenital triangle over here. So in the urogenital triangle, that is self-explanatory. You can see clearly in the diagram. Its apex is formed by nothing but the pubic symphysis. Its sides are formed by the istiopubic rami. and the base is formed by the imaginary line. Okay, that is clear. Now this urogenital triangle is further divided into deep and superficial pouches. You have the deep pouch and superficial pouch. Superficial pouch. And I'll just tell you how these structures are located once we know how the perineal membrane is related to these structures. Okay, so perineal membrane is nothing but a fibrous tissue. It's the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm also. So now I'll draw a schematic diagram to show how the structures are in the superficial and the deep pouch. Okay, so if we take the anterior abdominal wall here, and this is the penis in the male, and this is the scrotum. This is scrotum, and in the scrotum. So now, if we consider this diagram, you will have the membranous layer of the anterior abdominal wall, that is superficial fascia. It will be running like this along the anterior abdominal wall, and it is deficient around the area of the penis. Okay, it's not there. But in the scrotum, it becomes the dartos muscle and the dartos fascia. This is the dartos muscle and the dartos fascia. Okay, around the scrotum. And then behind it continues as the Colles fascia. Okay, this is the Colles fascia. It goes up like this, Colles fascia. And now I have one important structure over here, that is the perineal membrane. This is the perineal membrane. Okay, so according to some books, perineal membrane fuses with the Colles fascia, but according to some books, perineal membrane gives off two slips which form the Colles fascia. Like, it goes like this, and posteriorly it gives out one slip that goes down and forms the Colles fascia, and one slip that goes up and forms the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. Okay, these are the two slips. This one slip coming and bifurcating, I would say, and forming these two slips over here. Okay, so this is nothing but the Colles fascia. This is the perineal membrane. This is really important structure. This is the superior fascia of urogenital diaphragm. I'll tell you what is urogenital diaphragm in a minute. Okay, diaphragm. So now this superior fascia of urogenital diaphragm, it will go forward and it will fuse with the perineal membrane. And also another feature about the perineal membrane is it is a triangular structure membrane, and in the anterior portion it thickens to form the transverse perineal ligament. Okay, so it will fuse like this, and now you can see there are two cavities formed. I'll just highlight the two cavities. You know how they are formed now, like it is understood obviously.
Just a second, Mehdi. They are repeatedly getting the doubt where it is actually located. Guys, he's talking about the pelvis. Pelvis may you have pelvic floor. Don't get confused with the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is made up of muscles. What are the muscles that are making the pelvic floor? Your levator ani and ischio-coccygeus. Forget about that. He's talking something which is present below the pelvic floor. All these structure, the superficial perineal pouch, the deep perineal pouch, these are in between some membranes. The three membranes that he has drawn, the superficial fascia of urogenital diaphragm is the deeper most. And then we have the perineal membrane or the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. What he is pointing out, this is below the superficial fascia of urogenital diaphragm, and the inferior most. Okay, inferior most, or you can say if you are seeing from outside, it is the superficial most. Superficial most is the Colles fascia, which he has highlighted over there. Have you understood now where it is located? It is located below the pelvic diaphragm. And also he has mentioned about two triangles, urogenital triangle and anal triangle. Whatever he is talking now is about the urogenital triangle only and not about the anal triangle. Anal triangle is something different. There you will have ischio-anal foci. It is behind. It is not there now. He's talking about urogenital diaphragm. Is it okay? Type yes. If it is okay,
Pouches,
type
not
yes.
diaphragm.
Is it
Yeah.
okay? Fine with everyone? I showed you the orientation video, right? How it's located in the pelvis and all. Now I think you
Yeah,
guys
you can.
understood it, and it will be better now. So coming back to the topic, this is the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, Colles fascia, which is the inferior most, and in the middle you have the perineal membrane. Okay, so now you can see how the pouches are formed. Like now you can write the boundaries and all on your own if you just understand this topic. How these three membranes, number 1, number 2, and number 3, how they have formed two pouches over here. The first pouch is nothing but the deep pouch. This I'm highlighting with blue is the deep pouch over here. I hope you can see it. And the next pouch is the superficial pouch. This is the superficial pouch. Okay. So boundaries of the deep and superficial pouch. These are nothing but the boundaries of urogenital diaphragm laterally, and apex also is the, you will have your pubic symphysis over here only. It won't move anyway. So this is the pubic symphysis over here. So you have all the same boundaries as the urogenital triangle, but the only thing that will change for the deep pouch and the superficial pouch is nothing but this is the deep pouch. This is the superficial pouch. Okay. Superficial, coming to the deep pouch. Deep pouch has superior fascia of urogenital diaphragm above and inferior fascia of urogenital diaphragm below, which is nothing but the perineal membrane. This red structure here is a perineal membrane. Okay, so above and below are these, and posteriorly you can see here you have the fusion between the perineal membrane and the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, and also you will have one more structure which is the key structure of the perineum, that is the perineal body. I have separate two like, I'll talk about this later on, but for now you just remember perineal body is the main structure of the perineum, center point of the perineum, and this is the perineal body, and it has this as its posterior relationship, the deep pouch. And inferior, I told you, perineal membrane, and anteriorly also is the fusion of two. And also I told you here the transverse ligament that is also present, the thickening of the perineal membrane. Okay. Now coming to the boundaries of the superficial pouch. The superficial pouch is made inferiorly by the Colles fascia, superiorly by the perineal membrane. This red is the perineal membrane or the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. And posteriorly it has the fusion of Colles fascia and the perineal membrane. But anteriorly, this is the catchy point. Anteriorly, it doesn't have any wall. It is open. It is an open cavity. Okay, you have to emphasize on this when I discuss the clinical points, and it is really important to know that it is an open cavity and how it continues with the fascia. Okay, this is the open cavity, this is a closed space, it is closed from all side. I had this model made, I don't know how much you can see or no. um, I hope you can see this triangle. This is a triangle, perineal membrane and all, the urogenital triangle and all, and viewing it from the side like I've drawn here, this is the perineal membrane. The middle one is the perineal membrane, and the membrane above is the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, and this paper one in the inferior part is nothing but your Colles fascia. Okay, this model is not the best one, but yeah. So now coming to the, I told you it is an open cavity, this superficial pouch. Now we'll discuss something about the deep pouch. Okay, mind mapping. Remember how we are going, how we're proceeding with the class.
Yeah, I'll ask some questions to them. Please answer in the chat box. What are we discussing? Is this urogenital diaphragm or anal, urogenital triangle or anal triangle? Type in the chat box. Urogenital triangle. So these two pouches which he has discussed, are they present below the diaphragm or above the pelvic diaphragm? Below the pelvic diaphragm. Yes. So what is the partition between the urogenital diaphragm, urogenital triangle and anal triangle? What is the partition? A body is present. Huh? Imaginary line. Yes, imaginary line. Yes. And what is the structure in the middle which he has shown? One body, perineal body, not pelvic body. Yes. So how many muscles are attached to your perineal body? And that is a different thing. 10 muscles will be attached. You have to remember that. Yes. I will ask 2-3 more questions. What he has talked. Yes. So deep perineal pouch, is it above the superficial perineal pouch or below the superficial perineal pouch? If we see the erect body, it is above. Very good, very good. Yes. What is the superior boundary of the deep perineal pouch? Superior boundary. What is that called? Superior fascia. Very good. Yes. What is the inferior boundary? What is the inferior boundary? Inferior boundary of the deep perineal pouch? Perineal membrane. And that perineal membrane is also known as inferior fascia of the urogenital. Yeah, ठीक है. Now, what is the boundaries? Inferior boundary of the superficial perineal pouch? Superficial, I'm talking. What is the inferior? Colles fascia. What is Colles fascia also known as? 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 Superficial fascia of the perineum, not Scarpa's fascia. Superficial fascia of the perineum. Is superficial perineal pouch joining with the perineal membrane, or is it open anteriorly? Open or closed? Open. Very good, very good. I think you all are good to go with the other topic. Yes, Mehdi, you can continue.
Okay, thanks for the questions. That was refreshing actually. Now coming to the subdivisions of the urogenital triangle, they are the deep pouch and the superficial pouch, but now we are only going to discuss the deep pouch. Okay, so deep pouch is nothing but the urogenital diaphragm. The deep pouch has mainly two muscles in it
Video
and
is not
also some
visible.
vessels, but the muscular
Is
part of it
Mehdi,
makes up the urogenital diaphragm. Okay.
is the video visible? Mehdi, is it visible for others?
No, no, it's not visible. No, no, it got blur. It got blank.
What is
Yes,
this,
you
Mehdi?
can switch the camera off and then on. I think it will be okay then. I think you have opened some other tab because that's why it is not showing. Keep only this thing open, only the video.
Showing video paused.
Yes. Have you opened some other tab, Mehdi? It is still blank.
You're not audible, Mehdi.
Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Audible
yeah.
and
Now
visible.
you're
Good.
visible and audible. Please continue.
I'm really sorry, there was some problem with the internet, I think. Hello? Yeah.
So deep pouch has certain contents. Those are two muscles, mainly two muscles are there in the deep pouch. I hope you all know how the deep pouch is. It is like this, and here you have the superficial pouch and all, blah blah blah. But now we are focused only on the deep pouch. This is the deep pouch, and you can like obviously you now know the boundaries. Like I've seen the question and answer session, and you know the boundaries, what is above, below, and what is up. You can now answer about the boundaries, but now we are concerned about the contents and how it is all accommodated in the deep pouch. Okay, so if we take a like a I think a sidewise view, I would say, like superolateral view, this triangle will be, it is a triangle shaped structure, right? So it will be like this, but I also want it to be 3D, so it will be like this. Okay, this is the perineal membrane, the below one. This membrane is the perineal membrane. This is a perineal membrane, and anteriorly it fuses. Okay, so this is nothing but your deep pouch. Okay, deep pouch. So the content of deep pouch is nothing but the urogenital diaphragm. The muscles are nothing but the urogenital diaphragm plus the vessels and the nerve. Okay, so now you know this. This is above, right? This is in the perineum. This is present deeper. That means it is above. So above, it is also related to the anterior recesses of the ischioanal fossae and also to the levator ani. Okay. Boundaries you all know. Now coming to the content. Content mainly there are. I am just gonna make a list. So now you can see, like, I'll draw first. Wait a minute. This is the perineal membrane central structure over here, the central membrane, and above it will be the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. Now, why are we saying that it is the superior fascia? Because now we know that this structure is nothing but the urogenital diaphragm. The content of the deep pouch are nothing but the urogenital diaphragm. So this is the superior fascia, and this is obviously the inferior fascia, which is nothing but the perineal membrane. It is also called as the perineal membrane. So now above this, you know, there is levator ani, but above levator ani, you know what is present. This here you have the, what is this structure? This is the bladder. Okay, and in males you will have the prostate over here, just above the above the deep pouch. And in females you'll also have, like, I am doing a cross match over here, you'll also have the uterus and the vagina coming here. So this is the vaginal canal, and this will be the urethra from the urinary bladder. So yeah, this, so now I'll name the content over here and simultaneously I'll keep drawing. Okay, so the first structure that is important here is the urethra. Now I hope you all know that urethra has certain parts, and you'll have the prostatic part, you'll have the membranous part, you'll have the spongy part, and prostatic part will be here over here, and this will be the membranous part. So membranous urethra. Okay, so the second content over here is the vagina in females, obviously. Third content, like I told you, the muscles. So the muscle here is nothing but the, I'll draw the diagram so that you can better understand it, and I also have a diagram for netters which will give you the perfect view. You don't need to see anything else after that. At least that is what I thought. So the muscles are sphincter urethrae. This is also known as the external urethral sphincter. And next you have the, this is the deep pouch. Okay, so deep transverse perineal muscle. Okay, these are the two muscles you have. We'll discuss about the muscles also, don't worry. So these are the two muscles we have. So now the next structure you have is internal pudendal artery, which enters the pouch from behind. Okay, yeah, somewhere here you will have the pudendal canal of Ecock, and from here it will enter the deep pouch. Okay, this is nothing but the internal pudendal artery. And next structure that you have will be pudendal nerve. These are the nerves and vessels of the perineum. Actually, I think you won't need more, like, these are the only nerves and vessels in the perineum. So internal pudendal artery and pudendal nerve, both of them enter the, yeah, both of them enter the deep pouch from the pudendal canal. This is the pudendal canal, what I have drawn here in blue. It is also known as the pudendal canal of Ecock. Okay, So now can
Mehdi,
yeah.
just a second. I'd like to show them the this thing, 3D anatomy app. You just switch off your video. I'll present my screen for 5 minutes. I'll show them because they'll get the orientation of where all these things are, and then you can go on
Okay,
with
okay, yeah,
structures. They'll
fine.
understand it better then.
Yeah, fine, fine.
Is my this thing visible? Screen visible?
Yes, yes, Arbaz is visible.
Yes. So we'll see the pelvis, guys. Yes. Where is the pelvis? We'll see the pelvic floor first, and then we'll go on to the structures. What are the present? Where are they present? So this is the pelvis. This is the pelvis. See from behind and see in front. Yes. So he has shown you from here the pelvis. Yes, he has shown from here. So this is your pelvic floor. What all these muscles you are seeing? These muscles, all these muscles are your pelvic floor muscles. So these muscles, inside these muscles, your iliococcygeus, yes, pubococcygeus, your ischiococcygeus. This is the ischiococcygeus or coccygeus muscles. So are you clear with what is pelvic diaphragm and pelvic floor? Type yes. This is pelvic floor. Yes, what are they telling? Do I have any answers, Sadat?
Yeah, one is telling, yeah, some are telling no, some are telling yes.
Some are telling no. Let me choose another diagram then if they are not understanding in this.
Dancing a lot. Your cadaver is dancing a lot.
Cadaver is dancing. Okay. See, guys, this is pelvis. This is pelvis. Some muscles should be there in the pelvis to contain all these organs inside the pelvis. Those muscles are only three muscles. What are those three muscles? Your iliococcygeus, coccygeus, and ischiococcygeus. So those three muscles are nothing but forming your pelvic diaphragm. Those three muscles are nothing but forming your pelvic diaphragm. Nothing more. Pelvic diaphragm is only that. Only that. Yes. So if you want to see the muscles, this is pubococcygeus. From pubis, it is going to the coccyx. So it is pubococcygeus. This is iliococcygeus. Yes. Yes. From this thing. This, what is
If you
this
can
called?
remove
This
a
is the
femur
tendinous.
or a
Yes.
if you can remove one femur and one pelvic bone, it will be more clear, I think.
Okay, I'll remove then. Yes. One pelvic bone I should remove. Okay. Yes. This is the thing. Okay. From the tendinous arch, these muscles are taking origin. They will take origin from all around the pelvis. You need not worry about that. You can read in the this thing. But just I want to show you the pelvic diaphragm. This is pelvic diaphragm. Now, where is the superficial perineal pouch and deep perineal pouch? See, guys, here. Can you see this? This structure is your anal triangle. All this is anal triangle. This is your perineal membrane. Can you see the perineal membrane? Yes. Above the perineal membrane, matlab, deep to the perineal membrane, you will have what? You will have which pouch? Superficial pouch or deep pouch? Deep to the perineal membrane. What you'll have? Deep to the perineal membrane. Deep to the perineal membrane. May I have answers? Mehdi told you. You have answered also.
Superficial. Superficial, I think.
Deep to the perineal
Some are
membrane.
telling deep. Four of
Deep
them
to
are
the
told superficial, two of them have told deep.
deep, guys. Deep to the perineal membrane is deep. Superficial to the perineal membrane is superficial perineal pouch. Yes. Yes. So these muscles, the bulbospongiosus, the ischiocavernosus, these are the contents of your superficial pouch. Okay. Okay. Is it okay?
Arbaz, 1 second. When you're
These.
touching, yeah, 1 second. When you're touching the muscles, the screen is moving very fastly. So kindly slow down
Okay.
your audio so that it correlates with what you're doing on the screen.
Okay.
Or
Okay. So
slow down your
guys,
hand
this
movement
highlighted
otherwise.
structure. Okay. Okay. This highlighted structure, this perineal membrane, guys. Yes. Now see below the perineal membrane or deep to the perineal membrane, what is there? Some space is there. In the urogenital diaphragm we are seeing. In the urogenital triangle we are seeing. Okay. In the urogenital triangle. So you have deep to the perineal membrane some space. That is deep pouch, guys. That is deep pouch. Is it okay? Deep pouch type okay. And the panelists let me know. Sadat. Because it is difficult to understand. That's why I'm focusing on it. Mehdi no doubt
Yes,
told
they are
everything,
agreeing.
but
Okay.
okay, you know what is deep pouch. Superficial to the perineal membrane. These muscles you are seeing, I have highlighted bulbospongiosus. I have highlighted now the ischiocavernosus. Can you see these muscles? Yes, that is your superficial perineal pouch. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes.
Now, you may the inferior boundary of the superficial perineal pouch is Colles fascia, but we are not able to see Colles fascia in this diagram. Okay? Is it okay? Have you understood? कुछ तो सीख के जाओ इससे.
Once you
Yes,
show
yes,
the
they are
pouch
telling.
in
Yes.
direct body as it
Yeah.
told in the orientation, keep your body straight, erect, don't invert it.
Okay.
Straight
Okay.
keep. हाँ.
See,
अब बोलो
this is
superficial कहाँ है, deep कहाँ है? That's why they are getting confused. With
this is the
respect to the
straight body.
perineal membrane, they are labeled. So deep
Yes,
बोले तो
this is
और
the
अंदर है.
perineal membrane. This is the perineal membrane. Okay. Great.
सामने पढ़ लो तुम पीछे.
पीछे से
हाँ.
देखेंगे अच्छा रहता.
Right.
So these
पूरा
space
पढ़ना.
that you are
Right.
seeing in the superficial in the this triangle, urogenital triangle, deep to the perineal membrane is deep pouch, superficial to the perineal membrane is the superficial pouch. These are the contents of the superficial pouch. These are the contents of superficial pouch. Hope your two pouches are clear. Now you will ask me, what are ischioanal fossae? What are ischioanal fossae? Now, urogenital triangle is over. Come to the anal triangle. Now this is the anal triangle. Now anal triangle. Now here you have space in the anal triangle here. Yes. Do you have space here? Space. Are you seeing some space between this muscle and between the lateral wall of the pelvis? Are you finding some space? Yes. Do you agree or disagree? Can I show the
Yes,
other
yes.
diagram? Are they agreeing?
Yeah, they are agreeing, Arbaz.
They are agreeing. So keep telling me if they are agreeing. Okay, just a second.
Hello. Yeah. Arbaz bhai, I have pictures of this ischioanal fossae in my laptop, and I was gonna show it when I discuss the topic. So I
Sure.
got them from Grace, I think. They are really.
Okay. So I think they got the idea where ischioanal fossae will be now. Now in the anal triangle between the lateral wall of the pelvis and your pelvic diaphragm. Okay, you got all the idea of the pelvis now. Is there anything that you want to see in the pelvis in this diagram? Is pelvis crystal clear for you? Now when he will be discussing the structures of the deep pouch, structures of the superficial pouch, will you be able to imagine where they are located? I think that should be okay.
Yes, two or three of them have agreed.
Yes, Mehdi, you can.
Again, someone is asking. Yeah, Mehdi, you can continue. I will. We'll put it in the chat. Yeah.
Pelvic diaphragm is formed by three muscles. Those are pubococcygeus, ischio-coccygeus, and iliococcygeus. Okay. So now we are discussing about the contents. Okay, urethra. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, yes, Mehdi, you can continue.
So this is the urethra. This is the vaginal canal. The whole thing is the vaginal canal, and the muscles are nothing but inside the deep pouch. The muscles. I'll show the muscles in a minute. And from behind, you will have the entry of the internal pudendal artery and the pudendal nerve. Now, I have one question. If you know how the internal pudendal artery is related to the pudendal nerve, you will know that there is another structure both of these with the other structure come out of the greater sciatic foramen and enter the lesser sciatic foramen. All other structures that come out of the greater sciatic foramen just leave, but these structures go out and come back in around the pubic spine. So I want to know that ischial spine, I'm really sorry, ischial spine. I want to know what is the other structure that accompanies these two structures. If you guys can answer it in the chat box. Do you know what other
Someone is
structure?
telling gluteal muscle.
No, no, no. There is also a mnemonic.
Obturator muscles.
No. It is a
Pin
structure. It is
structures.
not a muscle. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
pin
pin
structures. But
structures. Yes.
elaborate the pin. P is
Yeah.
pudendal nerve. I is internal pudendal artery. But what is the N? Yeah, somebody said the answer. Shravya, well
Nerve
done.
to obturator. Yes, you're right.
And also Siddhika, good. Nerve to obturator internus. So this was something extra that was out of the topic, but I wanted you to know this, okay? So these are the contents of the deep pouch. So now I had to show you the picture of the muscles, and just a minute. Yeah. I hope you all can see how the muscles are located. This is a very good picture from Netters. And you can see how the fibers are there. This is a triangular space. And you can see this. These are the vessels coming from the uh, pudendal canal. These are the artery and a nerve, internal pudendal artery and the pudendal nerve. They are coming in the deep pouch. And this is the vaginal opening. This is the urethral opening. And around the urethra and in the female also the vagina, you have the sphincter urethrae. And this muscle over here, you see thick muscle. These are just fibers in the upper part, but in the lower part you have a thick muscle. I'll just draw a diagram. Okay, now I hope you've seen this all. So now I only draw a triangle, not even a diamond, okay, because we've bifurcated it too far now. So this is the triangle, I would say. And you know that we are seeing from outside. So first you will see the perineal membrane. First you will obviously see the Colles fascia and the contents of the superficial pouch, and you remove that. And the next wait, I have this, right? So it will be like this. It will be like this. So first you remove the Colles fascia. You will have all the contents of the superficial pouch, and then you also open the perineal membrane. So after that, deeper to the perineal membrane, you have this muscles of the deep pouch and urogenital diaphragm, nothing but urogenital diaphragm, and you have the urethra over here and the vagina in female over here. And this is the perineal body in the center. Okay, so these muscles are around over here, the sphincter urethra, and also some fibers are scattered all around like this. Okay, so now an important muscle, I told you two muscle. This is a sphincter urethra, external urethral sphincter, but the other muscle that is present over here is nothing but the transverse perineal muscle. Okay, oh, it's like this. Transverse perineal
Yeah,
muscle.
Mehdi, it's already 7:50. I just wanted you to note the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, please
I'll
continue.
just yeah, I'll be quick now. So I know you all know the concept now, but these structures are really important for you to know. These are the two muscles. These are the uh, deep transverse perineal muscles, and this is the sphincter urethra. And from here down, you'll have the entry of the uh, nerves and the vessels. Okay. Now enough about the deep pouch. Now I'll move on to the superficial pouch. Okay. Superficial pouch. So the superficial pouch, now you can say the boundaries. I think I don't need to discuss it again and again. The superficial pouch, I'll just briefly say, this is the superficial pouch. This space is the superficial pouch. Above you have the perineal membrane, obviously. Below you have this Colles fascia. Behind you have the fusion of the Colles fascia and the perineal membrane, and in front it is open. Laterally, you know, ischiopubic rami always present over there. So these are the boundaries. Now coming to the content. Okay, so the content of this pouch, So the content of the pouch are nothing but, I'll just draw a diagram over here like this, a triangle. This is the superficial pouch. Okay, so the content first is the urethra, because see, it is the deep pouch is like this, the superficial pouch is over here. Okay, so the urethra is coming all the way. I hope you can see it. So the urethra is coming all the way, piercing the deep pouch and piercing the perineal membrane, coming in the superficial pouch. And also the vagina will come here. Okay, so first content urethra, the spongy part of urethra. Okay, mind that. Spongy urethra, vagina in females. And I forgot one thing. In the deep pouch, you also have another structure that is present only in males. That is the bulbourethral glands of Cooper. Okay, remember that. That is important too. So now in the superficial pouch, you will have the urethra, the vagina, and obviously internal pudendal vessel, arteries or vessel, whatever, pudendal nerve, and other structures that you need to remember here. I can't help but you need to remember. These are the, if we consider a male body, like a male person over here. So here you will have the bulb of the penis, like this, bulb of the penis. And here you have the crus of the penis. Along, what is this over here? What is this? The relation. This is the ischiopubic rami. Okay. So along the ischiopubic rami, you will have the crus of the penis. Both the crura meet. All three of them meet, and they form the penis, obviously. So in the cross section, if you look, this will be crus, and this will be from the bulb. Okay. So the bulb will have spongy tissue, and this will have cavernous tissue. So these structures are covered by muscles. Okay, the muscles in the superficial pouch are nothing but, what is this structure? This is a bulb, and it is what tissue? Spongy tissue. So this muscle will be ischiospongiostis muscle around the bulb of the penis, and around the crura, the crus, you will have the another muscle, that is the ischiocavernosus muscle. Okay, so two muscles, I've just said, two muscles over here. And in the female, corresponding structures will be present, like bulb of penis in male or bulb of vestibule in females, covered by the same muscle, bulbous spongiosus. And in the female, you will have crura for clitoris, not for penis, obviously. And it will be covered by the ischiocavernosus muscle. Okay. And the other thing that you will have only in the males is the ducts of Cooper's gland. And other thing that is present only in females is the greater vestibular gland. Greater vestibular gland will be present somewhere over here like this. If this you consider as the labia, like this, it will be present somewhere over here. Okay. So now moving on, I think this you have understood everything. Now moving on to the perineal membrane, I just wanted to discuss briefly about the perineal membrane, and this will be really helpful for you because it is a thick fibrous sheath that fills in the urogenital diaphragm, and it is present between the deep and superficial pouch. And you need to remember this for I don't know what reason, but you need to remember this. This is important. You will have the perineal membrane, but you also need to know the structures that are piercing the perineal membrane. You have the perineal membrane over here, and this will be the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. This will be the Colles fascia. And you also need to remember the structures that pierce, like enter from the deep pouch to the superficial pouch. The structures that are entering from the superficial pouch to the deep pouch are nothing but the structures that are piercing this membrane, right? Obviously. So now you need to know the structures. So there are few of them. First, obviously, you will have the urethra. Do you need me to write this down? Urethra, vagina, vagina will be over here like this, and the arteries for the penis. I think I have a diagram for this. Let me check. Yep. Yeah, over here you can see. Over here you have the urethra coming, and around the urethra you have the nerves and artery for the urethra, and you also have the dorsal artery, dorsal artery of the penis, and deep artery of the penis, and you also have other structures. Those are the artery to the bulb of the penis. Okay, so these are the structures that are piercing the perineal membrane. Okay, so this can be really easy for you, because if you know the structures that are piercing the perineal membrane, you will obviously know that those structures are common to both the pouches, almost common to both the pouches, because there is one structure, that is the dorsal vein of the penis, that comes and pierces the uh, it is a content of the deep pouch, but it is not a content of the superficial pouch, because from here you will have the bulb of the penis and the crura from the sides like this coming, and they're forming the penis over here. So it doesn't enter the superficial pouch, it is just a content of the deep pouch. And another vessel, okay, we are discussing the vessels that are uncommon to both the pouches. For the deep pouch you will have the dorsal vein of the penis, and for the superficial pouch you have another structure. Here you have the pudendal artery coming, okay, and also the nerve will come here. Okay, so before even entering the pouch, it will give off to one branch, one artery and one nerve. These are nothing but the posterior scrotal or posterior labial in females, artery and nerve. So these are not a content of the superficial pouch, only the deep pouch. I hope you understood how the division takes place before it even enters the deep pouch. So it is only a content of the superficial pouch. So these are the uncommon things, and you need to remember the uncommon things. Those are more important, I think, exam point of view. But conceptual wise, you have to know everything, I think. So now moving on to, yeah, I think this is done. I think you understood the muscles and how they are oriented and all. I just wanted you to know one more point, that all the muscles are supplied by none other than pudendal nerves. The origin and insertion, I don't think you need to know them. Uh, the blood vessels involved in the perineal area are nothing but the branches of internal pudendal artery and vein. They are the urethral branches, posterior scrotal or labial branches, artery to the bulb of penis or vestibule, and deep artery of clitoris or penis, dorsal artery of penis or clitoris. And the nerves are also almost same, but there are a few, I think. You will have, I've shown you how they divide, right? The posterior scrotal or labial artery nerve, dorsal nerve of penis, and some muscular branches also pierce the perineal membrane. The muscular branches also pierce the perineal membrane and enter the superficial pouch to supply the muscles of the superficial pouch. Now coming to the applied anatomy, I really wanted to emphasize on this part. I hope everybody is awake. So this is the perineal membrane in the center. Above you will have the superficial fascia or superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, and below you will have the inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm, and this is the colles fascia. So colles fascia is like this, and around the penis it is deficient. But you know, around the penis it is deficient, but it continues laterally, like if you see this part like this, you will have the penis over here. It will come from behind. It will come from behind, and it will not go into the penis, but it will continue from like this, like sideways continuation till the anterior abdominal wall. So applied anatomy is nothing but you will have your prostate over here, and above the prostate you will have the urethra, I mean urinary bladder. So in this you will have the urethra all the way to the penis. Okay, so now let us suppose three sites, 1 is over here, 2 is over here, and this is 3. Okay, so these 3 sites are there, and you get a injury to the site number 1, okay, which is uncommon, I would say. At the junction of the prostate and the membranous urethra, you have an injury. So you know that above, over here, everywhere, it is the true pelvis, and here you will have nothing but the levator ani muscle. And if you have injury over here, you will have extravasation of the urine in the true pelvis. And number 2, in the deep pouch, if it happens in the deep pouch, like the membranous urethra is damaged, it will lead to extravasation of the urine in the pouch only, because it is a closed space. From the sides it is closed, from the front and from the back it is closed. Okay, it can be serious at points, but not that serious. But the most important is, and the most common one is the part 3, because it is obviously superficial, so it will be more prone to injury. So now you have a rupture over here, and you have urine coming down, and you know it can go behind, it can go down and descend into the testis. Okay, but it can also go up, because this is nothing but a, wait, I'll just rub this part. This fascia over here is continuous from, like, lateral to the root of the penis. It is continuous with the anterior abdominal wall. So the urine travels below the facial sheath of membranous fascia of the anterior abdominal wall, and it can go as far as the axilla. No kidding. It goes till the axilla at points. So you need to take care of this surgically, I think. So this was the applied anatomy. And now, like Arbaz bhai mentioned, perineal body, the central part of the perineum. My pens aren't working. This is the diamond perineum, the central point, central tendon, I would say. It is really a ill-defined structure, not that like well-defined. Ill-defined. It is a wedge-shaped structure, and it is located at the junction of the anal triangle and the urogenital triangle. You know, this is the division, right? At the junction it is located, and it is really important center point. It is a central tendon, and it is really important for the, especially in females during delivery. So like Arbaz bhai told, you have 10 muscles attaching to this point,
Mehdi,
converging at this
Mehdi,
point.
they
Yes.
want you to, one second. They want you to repeat that injury part.
Okay, they want me to. Okay, I'll just rub this.
Yeah, just revise it in a fast way. Just.
Yeah. In 1 minute, it will be done. So if we take the body, this will be the anterior abdominal wall and the fascia, membranous fascia, and in the penis it will be deficient. But like I told you, from the sides it will be continuous with the scrotum. In males, in females it will obviously be continuous till down like this. It will be continuous in females. Okay, in males it will be part of the scrotum, and it will be superficial pouch over here, and you will have the perineal membrane over here, and this will be the superficial pouch. So now there is an injury. Injury over here. So this will be the pelvis. Okay, this structure right here is nothing but the pelvis, right? This is a pubic symphysis. This is the pelvis. So urine will escape out and it will enter the pelvis, true pelvis. But if you have an injury in the deep pouch, that is the membranous urethra, then the urine will extravasate only in the deep pouch, because it is closed from all sides. There is no escaping for the urine. But the third and the most common part, which can happen mostly with the gymnastics and all during that, or if you fall on a fence or something unfortunate, it will damage the spongy urethra. Spongy urethra will enter the penis like this. From here, it will not go till here. It will enter the penis like this. But if you have an injury over here at this site, there will be urine everywhere. In the superficial pouch, there will be urine. Here in the scrotal sac, there will be urine, because this is nothing but, this is dartos fascia muscle, and Colles fascia is a continuation of it. So the urine can flow freely, and also this will be continuation in the anterior abdominal wall. So the urine will also escape out, and it can go till the axilla, because the facial sheath that is here, that the membranous carpus fascia, that is continuous till the axilla. Okay, so it can go up till there. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, it's clear, Mehdi.
Okay, I'll continue with the perineal body. We need to rush now. I'll just mention the 10 muscles that converge at the center point. Okay,
What else you have
so
to say after the perineal body? What else is remaining?
anal canal, ischiorectal fossa, ischioanal fossa. It will
So
not
skip
take
the
more than 10
perineal
minutes.
body and directly go on to anal canal and ischioanal fossa.
Okay, that will be fine. I'll move on to the anal triangle. Anal triangle, like you know, the diamond is there, and we've so far 1 hour discussion was only about the structures above the imaginary line. Now we are coming below the imaginary line, and you know, center point is perineal body, and in the center of this triangle you will have the anal aperture or orifice, like the exit point for all the feces and all. And it is really a small topic because it doesn't have much to talk about. You'll have the anal canal, which is a 4 centimeter canal, and it is the last point of the uh, GIT. And you will also have the ischiorectal fossa, and ischiorectal fossa can be confusing for people, so that is why I have a diagram from Graves over here, or I'll just draw one on the board in a minute. If you take a section, coronal section, if you take, this will be the anal outlet over here, and you'll obviously have these muscles, external anal sphincters, 3 of them, deep, superficial, and subcutaneous. Okay, these will be 3 of them, like this. And beside these muscles, and this will be the pelvic bone over here. Beside the muscle, you have these spaces. These are the ischioanal or ischiorectal fossae. Okay, I hope you understand. This is the rectum, this is the anal canal, these are the external anal sphincters, this is the fossa, this is nothing but the pelvic bone. Okay, this is the bone. And you also have another structure, that is the levator ani over here. Okay, I have this diagram, just a minute. Okay, so here this is a sidewise view. I hope you can see the blue arrows, how they are present. The down blue arrow is a recess, that is an extension, I would say. And the upper arrow is nothing but the actual ischioanal fossa. Okay, this one, this part. It is present on either sides of these are wedge-shaped fat-filled spaces. They are present on either side of the okay. Hello. So these are present on the either side of the anal canal. So now coming to the boundaries of the ischioanal fossae, it is bounded anteriorly by the perineal membrane. I'll show you in a lateral view. If I draw the perineal membrane, it will be like this, and deep pouch, superficial pouch, and all. And it will be over here, right? This is the anal canal over here. So it will be over here, the content. Like 3D, if you see, it will be present on that side and on this side of the anal canal. So you'll have the posterior border. If it is present over here, you'll have the posterior border of the perineal membrane as a anterior boundary, and posteriorly you'll have the sacrotuberous ligament, because it is what, it is nothing but the posterolateral boundary of the anal triangle. And laterally you have the ischium. This is the ischium, and you will have obturator, fascia, and muscle over here, like this. These are parts of the pelvis, and you will have the sacrotuberous ligament also as the lateral boundary. And medially you will have this muscle, levator ani, and external anal sphincters. These are the lateral boundaries. And this is a very superficial part of the anal region, so it can get infected a lot, and you will have perianal abscesses and fistulae forming over here. Fistula is nothing but a connection between these two spaces, and it will keep draining, and there will be a lot of accumulation of pus and all. It is a complicated thing.
Mehdi, 1 second, just let me ask them one more time. Are they clear about the location of this ischianal fossa? I'm asking this repeatedly because I never understood where they were located in my first year, neither in my second year. In my third year, I came to know that these are the spaces where they are located. Yes, no, somebody is telling no, somebody is telling yes. So will you tell, Mehdi, one more time, where are they located? Tell clearly.
Okay, just a minute. I don't have proper props. I wanted to show a 3D thing now because people are having a hard time understanding. Anyway, so I have this diagram over here. Just a minute. So in this diagram, if you see, this is nothing but the anal opening. Okay, over here is the anal opening. Over here, anal opening, and these are the what you call levator ani muscle, this and this, and the space between the skin and deeper to that is the ischiorectal or anal fossa. I don't think you understood that yet because it is really hard to depict such spaces, in even in diagrams, it is hard. I'll just show you like this. If you take the levator ani muscle over here, levator ani muscle over here, and they will converge at the perineal body, but we are not bothered about that. We'll take a further back section. So here you'll have the anal opening over here. These are the levator ani muscle. It will not come till here, it will be here. Okay, levator ani. So this, and here you will have the skin. Okay, skin is here. So now you have these spaces over here, wedge shaped spaces. Wedge is like a triangle pyramid, I would say. Space over here. Now I think it's a bit more clear.
Is it clear now? Is it
Is
clear?
it everybody? Yeah. Can people know? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's clear to
Some
them.
people are understanding, some still have doubts. Um,
Some people have doubt. Okay. So what can we do for them? Okay, you continue with the session. At the last, I'll
yeah,
just
it's
try to
it's
attend them.
almost done. It's almost done. Yeah, it's done actually. Not almost done. It's done. Ischiorectal fossa was the last topic I wanted to discuss. Is there like Arbaz bhai, can you like take over and show them on the app if
Okay. You're done with the topic? Okay.
it's visible? I don't think a facial, it is a fat. Okay, and thanks for listening, everybody. It was a pleasure, and I'll leave now. Okay, thank you.
You switch the video off and yeah.
Yeah, I switched it off, and you can take over, Arbaz bhai.
Arbaz, you're not audible.
Sorry, I was talking from that time. I didn't know. My mic was not on.
Figure
Yeah,
it out.
sorry.
Yeah.
So I was telling, don't be in a hurry. We'll see in clear detail where they are located and what is all. This is human being, guys. This is human being. Yes. So your pelvic cavity cannot be open from below. It has to be closed. So what are the structures closing it, guys? What are the structure? Your muscles will be closing it. And those muscles are nothing but your pelvic diaphragm. Those muscles are nothing but your pelvic diaphragm. So let us see here, where is the pelvic diaphragm now? Okay, so this is the pelvic diaphragm. This is from front, this is from behind. So below your pelvic diaphragm, there are some structure that will constitute your perineum. Okay, from anteriorly, if we see the body, the pelvis is closed by pelvic diaphragm, and below the pelvic diaphragm there is some thickness of tissue, some muscles, not muscles, some tissue, that is known as perineum, guys. That is known as perineum. Now that perineum we are dividing into two triangles by an imaginary line drawn between the two ischial tuberosities. Yes, you can see. So you know the two triangles. So in the anterior aspect, you have which triangle? The urogenital triangle. And if we see the urogenital triangle from superficial to deep, what are there? You will have some fascia, and between those fasciae you will have the pouches. So superficial most thing is the Colles fascia. This Colles fascia is not visible in this diagram. So that Colles fascia is nothing but the continuation of your fascia scarpa. What is fascia scarpa? In anterior abdominal wall, Sadat will be taking that session. You have 7 layers. In that 7 layers, beneath the skin, you have superficial fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. Yes. Now that superficial fascia of the anterior abdominal wall is made up of two structures. What are they? The fascia camper and fascia scarpa. Fascia camper is fat-filled thing, so it is not continuing downwards. Your fascia scarpa is continuing downwards as Colles fascia. Is it clear? What is Colles fascia? Is it clear? Type yes or no. Yes. What are the answers I'm
Yes,
getting?
yes, Arbad. Yes,
Yes.
everybody's agree.
Colles fascia, you understood. So deep to the deep to the Colles fascia, you will have superficial perineal pouch. Now these structures which you are seeing, these are the nothing but superficial perineal pouch case structures. Two muscles are there, two these things are there. You can all read that. Now deep to the superficial perineal pouch, which fascia is there? Your perineal membrane is there. Perineal membrane. Yes, you can see like this. Where is the perineal membrane? It is lying only in the urogenital triangle, not the anal triangle. I hope this is clear. Yes. Now, deep to the perineal membrane, if I hide my perineal membrane, you will have one more pouch, that is deep pouch, and deep to that pouch, you will have one more fascia called as superior fascia. Okay. So all that you knew, but one more time I gave you the orientation, how it is there in the pelvis. Okay. Now, let us see in the anal triangle what is there. In the anal triangle, nothing is there, guys. Nothing is there. In the middle you will have anus. In the middle you will have your anal canal. Yes, it is piercing these structures. What is this? Your pelvic diaphragm. Yes, they are piercing pelvic diaphragm. Now this pelvic diaphragm is a dome shaped structure. Dome hai ye? Nahi, flat hai. It is dome shaped structure. So between this dome and between this bone, there is some space. Can you see the space? Yes, can we enter into that space? This space is there. This space, can you see? Between this dome and between this bone, let us remove this. What is this sacrotuberous ligament? Let us remove. Can you see, guys? Can you see? This is your obturator internus. Okay, obturator foramen ko line kar raha. So this space, guys, between your dome and the lateral wall of the pelvis, in the anal triangle, you will have some fat filled structure. That is nothing but your ischioanal fossae. Okay, are you clear with ischiorectal fossae or ischioanal fossae? Where are they present? Is it clear?
Yes,
Do I have yes or no? Yes. Not
yes,
even one no,
Arbad.
na? Where are they present?
No,
Do you
no.
know? Yes. So what are the structures you have in this? Only two structures. Only two. What are they? Fat and pudendal canal. So pudendal canal mein you will have what structures? Pudendal nerve and internal pudendal artery and vein. Yes. So where are they present? Where will the pudendal canal be present? In the lateral wall of ischio-anal fossa. So this will be the lateral wall of ischio-anal fossa. The lateral wall of the pelvis is nothing but your lateral wall of ischio-anal fossa. I hope ischio-anal fossa is clear. With much clarity I told. If you have any more doubt, tell me. Okay.
Yes, I think I've understood, Arbaz. I think today's session was really, really fabulous. It was his first session, but I think it was really well put. And yeah, with Arbaz's little bit of guidance, I think it went well. Yeah, kindly fill the feedback forms, guys. It will give us motivation.